I don't know if you're a man or a woman, so I'm gonna try to be mindful of how I reply to this. But it's also like I asked you before this, like, how can we keep the Torah if we don't start with the Ten Commandments, if we don't start with the basic milk of the scripture? Because there's some things in there that you're like, what does this mean? Or what does that mean? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Sort of thing. So that's why it's like, don't you have to start with the milk so then you can learn the meat? Yeah, okay, to answer your question, like, obviously, no, it's not blatantly in the Ten Commandments, but it's also a common sense sort of thing. Like, if I'm not gonna go cheat on my husband, like if I had a husband, right? Say if I got married, if I'm not gonna go cheat on him, how, like, why would I go like F an animal? Do you see how that's like doesn't make sense? Because it's like, if you're not gonna, of course, obviously, yeah, it's not blatantly under the Ten Commandments, but it's also like, again, if you're keeping the Ten Commandments, you're not gonna do the other stuff. Like, if you're not gonna, again, example with the cheat on your husband, oh, for me it would be husband, I don't know if you're a man, but if I'm not gonna cheat on my husband, I'm not gonna commit incest, I'm not gonna do fornication, sort, you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like almost like a ridiculous question. Like, and this is something that a lot of Torah movement people always ask, like, obviously, no, it's not okay. Where did I ever say it was permissible? Like, what do you not understand about, like, the separation between sacrificial law and then the Ten Commandments? Like, obviously, bestiality is not, like, is that under sacrifices, stoning, oblations, circumcision, what Yeshua put an end to? Is because that's the thing. Why do you think Yeshua died? Like, what did he put an end to? Because are you trying to say, like, oh yeah, keep the whole law? It's like, but what part? Like, do you not understand what Yeshua came to bring us back to? He came to bring us back to the Ten Commandments, the life-giving water that Israel desired a horeb. Doesn't Deuteronomy 18:15 through to 19 show that? Like, like, we're, again, not blatantly in the Ten Commandments, but it's like on the law and the prophets, these two commandments: love God, love your neighbor. Like, that's the thing, that doesn't it start with the 10, and then once you do the 10, doesn't he show you the rest of what applies? That's why I don't understand, like, the point of this question, because it just is like it really is common sense. Like, so I don't know, I mean, again, I addressed this and actually in my other videos, like, when we say keep the Ten Commandments, it's not this literal, yeah, that means now you can go fornicate with animals because it's not under the Ten Commandments, or like you can go sleep with your family members. No, like, I even addressed that in one of my videos. It's just more so, when you keep the 10, you're going to keep the rest. That's essentially what we're saying. That's why we say keep the 10, do the 10 commandments, because if you're doing that, he's going to lead you and guide you and show you the way how to do the rest of all the other stuff that applies. And it's like, well, how are you going to know what doesn't apply? Well, if you're led by the Spirit, right? Aren't we supposed to be led by the Spirit, not the letter? You know, like, not under the law, but under conviction, which is grace. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I just don't get the point of comments like this, honestly. I really don't.